2021 to 2022 season. So before I get into the review, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys. These weekly NFL reviews really helped grow my channel over this year. I mean, I went from nothing, 0 subscribers, like 10 people watching my videos, if that. I'm now sitting at over 550 subscribers in just under 1 year. And I mean, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. I hope that you stick around through everything else non-football related until next season starts up. But I mean, really, this has been a pleasure. It's been a blessing, and I'm very grateful to all the support that I've gotten, especially from these videos over this last year. So with that, let's get into the game. And hey, I finally got a prediction correct, although it was one that I was hoping that I would get wrong. I'm recording this video a little close to the cutoff, maybe cutting it a little close here. I'm not sure if this will be able to be up exactly at 10 p.m., but we'll see. But if I would have made this video any earlier, it probably would have just been me yelling profanity into the camera, which not very relaxing as far as ASMR goes, but certainly an interesting game. I mean, it was, man, full disclosure, I was unable to see like the first 7 minutes of this game. I was driving to my parents' house to watch the game with my family, and I got stuck in some traffic, so I missed the first 5 to 7 minutes of this game, so I can't really comment on that. But shortly after I got there and started watching the game, Odell Beckham Jr., he opens the scoring. So I actually did make a very specific prediction that I thought that the Bengals would open the scoring and then go on to lose regardless. But it was actually the Rams who opened the scoring. OBJ, who got his first touchdown. Wait, I think he only had the one. Yeah, he only had the one touchdown in this game. For some reason, I thought he had 2. And then, to close out the first, McPherson kicks a field goal. It's 7-3 going into the second. Then in the second, Cooper Kupp gets a touchdown reception. I think that is, I for some reason thought that was an OBJ touchdown, but it wasn't. That was to Kupp. And then the Bengals run this incredible trick play, like this fake run. And then Joe Mixon drops back and throws a pass to T. Higgins. Yes, Joe Mixon throws a pass to T. Higgins. That's for a touchdown. What's funny is that's a play that the Rams would kind of run later, but they did not. They were not successful on it. The Rams attempted a pass by Cooper Kupp, but that ended up being incomplete. But I think that was like in the 3rd or the 4th. I'm not sure. But yeah, so the second quarter ends. One important thing though on that Kupp touchdown for the Rams is they go for a 2-point conversion, but it fails. So that only goes for 6. And then Joe Mixon, he scores, and so then the Rams are, it's 10-13. Oh no, what is it? 6-9. Oh, and these scores are all messed up on here, but I'm pretty sure it's 10-13 going into the second half. And just briefly, I want to talk about that halftime show. There's been a lot of good halftime shows over the years. Personally, I still put the Prince halftime show. Hold on, my roommate just messaged me. I still put the Prince halftime show as the best one that I've ever seen. But I think this is, and this might be recency bias, but this halftime show was insane. I think it could be the second best one I've ever seen. Maybe Michael Jackson was better. That MJ halftime show was wild. But that's really before they became big productions and stuff, you know, with like millions of dollars worth of stage design and whatever. But I mean, this halftime show was insane. You had Dr. Dre, you had Snoop Dogg, they started it out, and then 50 Cent came in. I wasn't expecting 50. He was like hanging upside down or something. I think he was just trying to show off how jacked he was, which, like, let's go 50. Let's go. I'm sorry, that was so cringy. So 50 Cent comes, and then Kendrick Lamar came out. That was insane. Like, all of a sudden I start hearing like swimming pools play, and I'm like, no way they got Kendrick. Kendrick starts playing. They had, what's her name? Oh, I can never remember her name, but before Kendrick it was, this is gonna drive me insane. What was her name? It was Mary J. Blige. She was killing it, and then Eminem came out at the end, and then of course they closed it out with Still D.R.E., and that was just amazing halftime show, and like, in my opinion, like perfect, because you started off with like the Los Angeles rap from the 90s, and I was just like, the whole thing was great. And I think like for the rest of the week I'm going to be listening to like 90s hip-hop, like, oh, it was such a good halftime show. The set design was a little weird. They were like in a mobile home looking thing. I don't know what that was all about, but also funny thing about the set design, sorry, I'll get through this before I get to the game. The set design, everybody was standing on one side of the set. So it's like they're all standing here, but then the set is designed to look like a house. And then there's the whole other side, but they're in the middle of the field. So only people on this side of the stadium was able to see the performers. Everybody on the back side is just looking at the back of a house. I thought that was pretty funny. I'm like, dude, these people in these seats are getting screwed. But yeah, amazing halftime show. Just, wow. And then we get back to the game. Third quarter opens up with a banger. Joe Burrow, deep pass to T. Higgins, 75-yard touchdown. Now the pass, little controversial because blatant face mask on Jalen Ramsey. He puts his hand basically right here on Jalen Ramsey and pushes his head away. He's like this and like pushes Jalen Ramsey's head down by the face mask, catches the ball, touchdown. And I think that was on Joe Burrow's first pass attempt of the third quarter. So you're like, oh wow, like that's quick. That might be a momentum changer. And it was. I think the Rams went 3 and out on the drive after that. Then Evan McPherson kicks a field goal. And the score was sitting at, for like most of the game, the score was sitting at like 20 to 17. And I was like, man, this might be like, or was it 20? It was 20 to 16. It was sitting at 20 to 16 for a while after a field goal for the Rams. Like, for a majority, like, not the majority of the game, obviously, but it felt like hours sitting at 20 to 16. And I was like, man, this might be the final score of the game. This might be. And if it's off of that uncalled face mask, I was like, people are going to be upset about this. I think I forgot to mention it, but at one point in the first half, OBJ went down. Did not look good. Non-contact knee injury. He catches the ball, come down, lands, and he immediately, just like he drops to the ground, he's holding his leg, he has to be helped off, and he would not return to the game, and that was bad. You're like, oh god. You know, because he had some injury issues already, and he's had a hard time like just staying healthy and stuff, and you're like, man, another. You hope that isn't like an ACL tear or something, but it probably is. Just unfortunate. And yeah, that was hard to watch. And then there was scattered injuries. It seemed like for a few plays there, Cooper Kupp was not in the game. I don't know if that was just the scheme or whatever, but even my dad kind of mentioned something. He's like, "Where's Kupp at?" And I was like looking, and I was like, "Oh, he hasn't been on the field in like 3 or 4 plays now." So I don't know what's going on with that. Obviously, he did end up coming in, and in that fourth quarter drive, he made the hero plays, but I think he might have sat out for a minute. Like I said, OBJ did not return. And then you had the moment, which in my opinion was kind of the turning point and what kind of sealed the game for the Bengals. Joe Burrow gets sacked. It would be his 7th sack of the game. Yes, his 7th of the game. That Bengals offensive line is absolute dog shit. And although I love Jamar Chase, and he was instrumental in their whole season, all the people that were saying they should have taken Sewell in the draft were kind of vindicated in this game, because that Bengals O-line was terrible. I think Joe Burrow ended the game with 8 sacks. Just unacceptable in the Super Bowl to allow that many sacks, like against your quarterback. Like, what are you doing? You can't give up that many sacks, man. But on that 8th sack, Joe Burrow goes down, and he is limping off the field with a knee injury. Thankfully, or maybe not thankfully, because now it's both of his knees, but it was not his knee that was the one that he had surgery on his rookie season. It was his other knee. But now maybe both of his knees are bad, and that's terrible. So hopefully he does not have any long-term lingering effects from that. He came back in and finished the game. But, I mean, he clearly was not 100%. His accuracy was notably lower. He was not throwing as good as he had before going down. And as soon as Burrow got hit, I literally texted my friend. Like, even though the Bengals were still up on the scoreboard, I texted my friend and I was like, game's over. Rams just won. Like, the second Burrow got hurt, I was like, the Rams just won. And I honestly believe that if Burrow hadn't gotten hurt, the Bengals probably win this game. I do believe that. I think they win the game. But yeah, that was bad. And then the Bengals, after Burrow comes back in, they get a stop on the Rams, the drive right after Burrow goes down. Burrow comes back in, and they're running the ball more. Mixon like immediately gets a first down, and you're like, all right, maybe this is going somewhere. Doesn't end up going anywhere. Then Stafford gets the ball with like 4 minutes left, I think, and they march down the field. And at this point, the Bengals defense looks gassed. They've been on the field a lot this game, and they came up with some big defensive plays in the third quarter, like all through the third quarter, and for a majority of the fourth quarter. The Bengals defense was rock solid, forced a lot of 3 and outs. They were pressuring Matt Stafford. But then that final drive, Cooper Kupp remembered that he was Cooper Kupp, and just boom, boom, boom drive. I was not a fan of what happened at the red line. The Bengals, the Rams march up to the end zone. The Bengals hold them off. They get to a 3rd down, but then the ref calls a holding. And the ref had been letting things go the entire night. Like, before that play, there had probably been like 5 flags thrown the entire game, if not fewer than 5. Like, I'm telling you, the referee in that game was letting everything go. No holdings were being called. Pass interference was not being called. The face mask was not being called. That ref had swallowed his whistle since the opening coin flip. But then at the end of that fourth quarter, they like threw out 4 or 5 flags in favor of the Rams, like flag, 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 flag. And then, of course, Cooper Kupp gets the touchdown there. So that's always one of those things that's like, man, you do not want to win, like, on a flag like that. Like, and you saw it immediately, like, social media, everybody's like, rigged. Like, of course, they're rigging it for the Rams. And it's like, I don't know. I have my personal opinion on that. I'm not going to get into it here. Personally, I'm just, the only thing I'll say is I do think there's a pattern of referees favoring the Rams and every Los Angeles team in professional sports, which is why I'll always say my rooting interest in sports is always whoever is playing against Los Angeles. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, both teams had plenty of chances before that. The Bengals could have tried to run the score up. They couldn't get it done. Both offenses had stagnated basically the entire second half after that touchdown. So Bengals get the ball back. Joe Burrow had like, I think, a minute 20, if not under a minute 20. He tries to get down. They're making some plays. Mixon comes up just short on a third down play. It was 3rd and 1, but he does not get the first down. On 4th down, Joe Burrow drops back to pass it. Boom, he is sacked by Aaron Donald, his 9th sack of the game. And that sealed the deal. The Los Angeles Rams win. Final score 23-20. Let's get into the QB stats here. Matthew Stafford, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, however, 2 interceptions. And before the end of this game, Matthew Stafford was getting clowned on. People were like calling him trash. People were saying that Matthew Stafford was joking. People were saying it looks like Matthew Stafford is back in Detroit. Like, if the Rams had not won this game, Matthew Stafford would be wanting to stay off social media for a while, because the tweets about Stafford's performance was relentless. Joe Burrow, 263 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. And then obviously Joe Mixon has that other passing touchdown. And the rushing yards, I mean, it's, if you look at the stats here for the Rams, it's insane that they won this game. They only had 21 rushing yards off of 13 carries for their leading rusher. Meanwhile, Joe Mixon had 72 yards off of 15 carries. He had 51 more rushing yards off of 2 more carries compared to the Rams' best rusher. Just insane stuff. But yeah, that is the game. The Rams win it by 3. They were favored by 4, so the Bengals did beat the spread. And I think that Mattress Mac dude in Las Vegas made a lot of money on this game, but I don't know. I don't know if he bet them to win or just cover the spread or whatever, but that is that. My review of the Super Bowl. There were some good commercials. The commercials seemed a little lackluster compared to the usual fare, although that Doctor Strange trailer was insane. I'm very excited for Doctor Strange 2. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for watching each and every one of these NFL videos all year long. I hope you guys stick around and watch some of the other stuff I put out on this channel going forward. But I will see you guys. I'll probably cover some off-season moves if anything crazy happens, so I'll probably be back within a month or 2. Trades, movements, stuff like that. You know, I'll keep my finger on the pulse, so to speak. But again, thank you guys so much. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the game in the comments down below. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content just like this every single day. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.